Good morning. I hope you had a fantastic weekend, ready for another exciting week in front of the charts. Okay, so looks like my camera's bust, so we'll have to do without it today. But the screen is the most important. So let's get into some charts. I was looking pretty scarce until we got through to the European pairs, and then a few cropped up. So there's a few things to look at today. Lots of news on this week. Varied news: Aussie, Kiwi, pound, Swiss today. Yes, and some dollar news as well. So keep an eye on your Forex Factory calendar for any news that might be present, and you want that to spoil your trade with some crazy moves. Right, into the charts. Euro CAD. So we had a big move on Friday. Look at the daily chart here. Big move on Friday, broke straight through the daily 50. We have a big MACD divergence on the daily here. You can see they've got much lower highs on the MACD, indicating we're going to go for lower prices, and that proved itself without smashing through the daily 50 on Friday. What does that give us on the hourly chart? Let's have a look. Okay, so we pull back to the 4-hour 50, which is this blue line, the daily 20, which is this thin red line, and we've now broken down through the 1-hour 50 and daily 50, which is this green line. So what's the best thing for us? I think the best thing is simply a pip snatcher. It wasn't a very good ACV, as in it wasn't a nice wedge pattern or anything, so I'll keep it clean and just stick with the pip snatcher. It gives us the daily 50 in our stop zone, which is really good. The hour 50 has to catch up, but we've got 8 to 9 hours till the UK session gets underway. Plenty of time for that to pull back nicely with 1-hour 50 to catch up. Give us a nice quick one-to-one pip snatcher to start the week off. Could we go lower? Okay, back to the daily chart. Looks like we've got from this 1-2 triple top. It looks like we've got perhaps this is the wave 1, this is the wave 2. And we're now in the middle of wave 3. And if that's the case, we'll do a fib extension on this wave 1. Pull back to here. It's switched in there, isn't it? So the wave 3 we predict to be end in this between 1.272, 1.618, that kind of area. So we've got kind of that much move we had on Friday left in it, which would be, you have to measure it out, but if you did a 4-to-1, you may well find you can squeeze a 4-to-1 in there before the end of wave 3. Of course, it doesn't have to stop there anyway, but it's usually a good indication. And with a hyper trade, you can manage your trade accordingly and just trail the 5-minute 50 or whatever, however you want to manage it, and try and get more than just standard 1% from the pip snatcher. So that looks like a very nice setup for US Swiss. Similarly, we've got a bearish day on Friday after we've come back, kind of retested the daily 50 on Thursday. Bearish day, that looks like it might continue. What do we have on the hourly chart? Again, we've got a pip snatcher, the 1-hour 50. Not very pretty, this one, is it? I don't really like it, to be honest, because we've had the big down push here was mostly in the closing of the final hour of the week. We were closing out their positions, so that's not really a nice trend. And then it gapped up almost to the pivot on the start of the new week. So don't really like it. See how it plays out. Keep an eye on it, but probably better pairs out there to look at. Euro yen. Similar looking thing. We're below the daily 50. We're looking like we're going short. We're still kind of in this range thing here. We've been in for quite a while. And it did wick down and close back above it. So keep that in mind. What do we have on the hourly chart? So that level we just saw on the daily chart seems to be probably this one here. We've got this one is dotted line I put in here. We've got testing it here. Acting as resistance, then the support, and now resistance again, and we are below it. So maybe it's going to keep going down now. The pivot The pivot here is close to pulling back to it already. So that could set up very soon with the 4-hour-50 in a stop zone, which is not correct, of course. I drew this before the new pivots arrived. So the pivot snatcher just about squeezes in before our S1. S1. So stop behind the R1, profit for the S1. Quick 1%, 1-to-1. That looks okay. That looks okay. The fib there's a divergence between here and here, these lows. But we've had a kind of call it a reset back below the 0 line, back above the 0 line, and now back below it again. That kind of resets the MACD, and then we could be in for some lower prices. So that looks okay. Not the best. If there's anything better, I'll take that, but it looks okay. I think EuroCAD's probably nicer looking. Moving on, PoundCAD. It's quite nice looking in that we've got a break of the daily 50, a pullback to the daily 50, and then a break down. That is quite nice. Similar to EuroCAD, I guess. And on the 1 hour chart, again, fib snatcher, time for the 1-hour-50 to catch up in the next few hours. And that could be a quick, nice, quick 1-to-1. And again, we could also look at doing a hyper trade here, because there's really nothing to stop this to right down here. We do our fib extension. If we take our fib from up here, take that as a wave 1, which it could well be. A bit messy, but it could be a wave 1. Then our wave 3 could be ending down here, 1.564. We could be trading all the way down to, obviously there's a better way to do this, but it goes all the way down to about here somewhere. I didn't have some line. So it's more than 4-to-1. So there's a good chance there of a hyper trade, a 4-to-1. That one looks pretty good hub trade. So EuroCAD and PoundCAD seem to be the best if they line up nicely later on. Let's go to pound dollar. Again, trend line broken the daily 50, pull back to the daily 50, and a bearish day on Friday. Not the strongest, but nevertheless, it is a breakdown below this resistance level and the daily 50. So that's pretty good for short as well. And similarly, the best thing I think is just a quick fib snatcher, 1-to-1, or you could also consider the hyper trade here as well. Although maybe you don't want to go below these lows here, which is only 2.5-to-1, so in which case the fib snatcher might be the best option. So that looks pretty good as well. CAD. Well, we're looking very similar, these aren't they? We've got a breakdown below daily 50, pull back to retest it, and now we're looking to go short after a very bearish day on Friday. That looks pretty good for short as well. So PoundCAD and CAD are quite similar. Again, fib snatcher is probably the best way to go. Hourly 50 to catch up. That pretty much set up for another 7 or 8 hours, I imagine. And that could be a quick 1-to-1 fib snatcher. Could we go lower? Yeah, we could. We could take that down to the bottom. Wouldn't that be nice? We could do a quick hyper trade on that one. I mean, not quick, but a hyper trade on that one. If you want to push it down to the 4-to-1 or more even, then that is definitely a possibility. Something to keep in mind. Okay, last one to look at, which is setting up imminently, dollar CAD. Similar again, but we're having a bit of a trading range here, so it's not looking quite as good as a breakout or breakdown, but we've definitely got a rejection of a daily 50, the resistance level here, support resistance level, and it seems to be going short, so maybe that will continue today. So there's a few of them which are looking quite similar. Wait for them to set up, see which one looks the best. What do you think we fancy the most? So that looks pretty good as well. But this one has an advantage of the 4-hour-50 lining up nicely. So the 4-hour-50 is here when the price action pulls back to the 382, which is where the hourly 50 will be, in about, I don't know, maybe 6-8 hours when the UK session opens. That could be a very nice looking CBO short. So that's CBO short, CBO, means we can tighten our stop loss a little bit, and we can push our profits to wherever we want. So this would be an obvious level, this S1 from the daily pivots. So the daily pivot lines up there as well, quite nicely. That's another added bonus. So that would be a nice 2.5 to 1, or you can push it down to the lows, recent lows over here. That'd be 3 to 1. So there's a few options there. That's probably one of the plays of the day. Dollar CAD or Euro CAD. They're all looking pretty good. The other one I want a quick look at is Euro Pound. So this is it's kind of decelerating, not the best of decelerations. It's all been kind of smallish moves, but it's been moving lower, lower, lower. It's day 2050 zone. And we're waiting now for it to potentially turn back up. Is there a MACD on here? There is a slight MACD. Let's zoom in. That MACD. Yeah, it's a reasonable MACD there, so it could just be going lower. But if you look at the hourly chart, the reason I want to highlight this is we've got a MACD divergence here. Lower low on the price action, higher low on the MACD, which means that we could be doing some kind of reversal, whether this just pulls back a little bit or it's a big reversal. We'll have to wait and see. But that'll need a break of 1 hour 50, the 4 hour 50, pull back, and that could well be a CBO because the 1 hour 50 is not far behind the 4 hour 50. And there'll be a CBO about there, and then we can take that high. So that's why maybe for very late today or maybe tomorrow. So there we go. That's what I have for you. There's a few, not very many, but there's a few quite nice, interesting ones which they do set up, will be lovely looking trades. I wish you all the best with that. If you want to learn more about ProTrader, scottprotrader.com. Links in the description. If you're not a member already, come and check it out. Free training, see what this is all about, and see the power of learning this trade. I will speak to you tomorrow. Wish you all the best in the markets, and I'll see you then. All the best.